Prismatic Evolutions. Is it crashing? Is it going to continue to burn down and go down to the ground? Or is this just a little reprint cycle and prices just go down a little bit and then they just pop right back up? I don't know. Let's take a look at the data, see what we can extrapolate from it. Some opinions and some different things coming up. But guys, we are HozGamesandCards.com. I'm Hoz, owner of HozGamesandCards.com, and I hope you're all doing awesome because you all deserve it. Check out our website, HozGamesandCards.com. Little shameless plug, but let's dive right into it. So Prismatic Evolutions, the reprints have been making its rounds. Reprints have definitely been making its rounds. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to affect the market and how much of it really is out there. I think my last video, I was like, I didn't get any, and none of the local stores I know got any. But then come to find out, later on, a week or two later, while I was on vacation, I got notification that I'm going to get some. I was like, oh, wow, that's exciting. And I apologize for the delay in video uploads. We went on vacation, and then I had a health scare. I had a little health scare, which is kind of whipping me into certain perspectives. And so spent a lot of time with family after the vacation anyways, but recovering. We're recovering and still working full-time and all that crap. So here we are, trying to figure out what's going on with Prismatic Evolutions. Now, how many allocations did I get? I only got 6, which is not a ton. It's not a ton, but since, I'm such a smaller scaled store anyways, almost leads me to believe that other bigger stores probably got a ton. And if not, then probably Walmart's, Target's, things like that, because I keep on hearing that there's restocks with them going on. Sorry, my dog Daisy just appeared. Come here, come say hi. You gotta go over here though to get on the camera. There you go. Say hello. As you can see, she ripped up a chew toy. They don't last for more than a day. She will just destroy them. Anyways, so we've been seeing a lot of random restocks at stores. We saw Pokemon Center drop their Prismatic Evolutions ETB, and we're going to have to, and Destin Rivals too, we're going to have to make a video about that because their drop times are terrible. Like, they don't announce the drop ahead of time. I think they should make it fair. Give everyone a fair chance.
Oh, I matter. I'm the most successful.
It doesn't matter if you matter.
And say, hey, here's the time of day that's going to drop. Because if you're a normal working person that actually has to focus at their job and not sit there and wait for bot notifications that something's coming in stock, normal hardworking people aren't going to get it. So I hope they fix that someday. I hope it's like Secret Lair, and we'll have to do a video about that. But the queue for Secret Lair with Magic the Gathering is so nice. So much nicer than Pokemon. I wish they could adopt that same system, but they probably won't because Pokemon is Pokemon. So here we are. I only got 6 Prismatic Evolutions ETBs coming in, and they only gave me enough. They only sold me enough to where I'd have about $240 worth. Is probably a little more than that. Yeah, probably a little bit more than that. And I think my distro does it on purpose. Instead of giving me a case and hitting that $500 no shipping threshold, I think they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to give you just barely any to get over the threshold needed to complete an order anyways, and then you're going to have to pay us shipping. So that sucks because I couldn't even order enough to get free shipping. So now I got to factor shipping costs into it. But these ETBs were not done below MSRP. They were actually closer to this market price right here. So they were not below MSRP. And they were floating around here. They weren't here. They were slightly under market. But I think they're probably selling it to me for a good enough price to where I could probably sell it for maybe, oh man, what would it be? $100, $110. I think is about the price I would be able to do if I were to sell them. And if not, I'll probably just hold them forever because they'll keep going up in price over a long span of time if you play the long game. But anyways, as far as for me, the pricing has made it to where it's just a little under market, but to where I can probably beat it pretty well. Probably beat it pretty well. Are other stores going to do that and price it below market? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But market on this thing was like 135 to 140. And now it's shot all the way down to 122. A significant drop, but still really high. Still really, really high. So how long is this going to last? How long is this pricing going to last? Well, the gaming company has 150 of them. Woo. Man, their distro must love them. 150, the gaming company, and they're doing theirs for 125. So they're not going to be making things go below 125. And remember, these are your already established big local game stores. They're the ones that are pricing you out and screwing you over. So remember that. For pre-orders like Destin Rivals, when you look at all those crazy overpriced booster boxes, only stores can do those pre-orders. Only legitimate stores. And this is one of them that pops up on every pre-order cycle. So the next time you want to complain that scalpers are scalping, just remember that your local game store is scalping the hell out of it. They're scalping the hell out of it. So it's not just scalpers. They're a part of it. But this is a big thing of it too. And yes, distro does upcharge it a little bit, but this is definitely above where it needs to be and where we could price it at for the price we got it. And even Destin Rivals, they did up the buying price to Destin Rivals. Usually it's like $95 a box, 90 to 95. This time they did it for probably closer, I think it was 110 per box, which is crazy. So even distro for a pre-order for stuff coming out, which is usually at its cheapest, they've even upped the prices of that. So that is nuts. That is completely nuts. So 125, 150 of them. We have 4 of them at 117, so that will go quick and not matter. 119, only 3, that will go quick and not matter. We got a whole bunch of 125s and 126s. And some more 126s. Kind of fluctuates all over the place, to be honest. 128. 131, 130. Now we're up in the 130s once we get a little bit further in. And you have to remember, 96 of these are being bought on an average daily. But while this is downturn, I can guarantee the purchases are probably higher than 96 a day. Still into the 130s, almost 140s. So you know what? I bet this will last for a few days, and then it's going to shoot right back up. Last for a few days and then shoot right back up. So one thing to think about, if you want to get it in the 120s, this is kind of the time to do it. I would never say to go FOMO and buy something that's already overpriced. I think that's ridiculous. Don't do it. I'm even going to be selling these, and I'm going to be like, hey, don't buy it. It's a stupid price. I'm only selling them for the price I'm going to sell them for, because I have to at least clear a little bit of something from whatever distro price is it at. But I know this 125 range, people can go lower than 125 right now. But again, your local stores and distro being dumb and silly. So that has taken a hit. Obviously reprinted and taking a hit. Prismatic Evolutions Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. Now this has also taken a little bit of a wild ride. It was like in the 350s and now all the way down to 249. Average market dips down to 238 sometimes. I know earlier today and yesterday I think it was like 220-ish, but it has already bounced back from that. And as we can see here, 259, 248, 269, 278, 269. I'm pretty sure this is going to go away pretty quickly. 265, 270, 280. Yeah, this is going to go pretty quick. This is going to go pretty quick back into the 300s. So that's not going to last forever. Again, way overpriced, way crazy. I wouldn't buy it at this price. But if you want to get it while it's still in the 200s, now's your chance. Now is your chance for that. Hopefully they come out with more reprints of it, but I doubt it on the Pokemon Center ETB. But you never know. They put out Twilight a few times and Shrouded Fables, so you just never know. Now, here's one thing that didn't really get too hit. I mean, and as we saw, Prismatic came out during release date. It dipped down into like the low 70s. This thing was pre-ordering for almost $110. Almost $110 on pre-order. Dipped down into the low 70s to mid 70s on release, and then bounced back up to $80 market, which is more than 151. Which is more than 151 booster bundles. That's crazy. Very regularly selling at $81, $93 there. That is absurd. That is so absurd. It's not even a fun set to open. The set is annoying to open. I like it, and a lot of people make fun of the crowns and stuff. I came back during 151, and I like the crowns. I don't care. I think it kind of looks cool. Kind of reminds me of Sonic. But that's just me. I'm weird. I have weird tastes, and I love the Celiurge, however you say that one. I love the artwork in that one, and even that's crazy expensive, even though it's an underrated card. So we got 81s, 83. Quickly getting back to 85 on the second page. Some 86s. So it looks like we're trending back up to get into almost the 90s pretty quickly. It's kind of all over the place as far as pricing goes, but it looks like we are going to be jumping back up on that. So, Prismatic, would you say it's crashing with these trends that we've been seeing? Would you say the price has crashed and that's just that? Like, this is just tanking and going to the ground and going to go below MSRP? I would definitely say that they're going to keep reprinting this, kind of like Crown Zenith. I think they're going to keep trying to bring it as close to MSRP as possible. But that can't happen until you crazies stop buying this shit at this crazy price. But then also, it's not going to happen until distro stops doing things above MSRP. All their orders are above MSRP right now. Anything I order from them, doesn't matter how new or old, it's all above MSRP. When they finally do get something, distro's been dried up, and they just randomly will be like, oh, you can have 6 of this that we're going to be getting in soon. And then that's it. So, I'd say if they continue to do reprint waves from distro and to big box stores continually over and over and over, and keep this up, then yeah, they can drop the prices down, and I think distribution would drop the prices down too, hopefully, if this keeps on getting flooded. But let's say this doesn't get reprinted for another 6 months from today, then I think the prices would trend back up and go pretty high until the next reprint. Then it'll dip back down low, but not as low as what we're hitting right now, I'd say. Probably not as low as what we're hitting right now. And then have another climb up and then get above its old peak again. That'd be my guess. But I could be totally wrong. That's just kind of what is screaming at me as far as an answer goes for when we have like the sales data that we have here, what allocations look like through distro on this product, and what price distro's throwing it out at. And then what people are buying at. Again, we need people to stop buying this. Like, just stop. If you all would stop, these prices won't exist. And then you could go crazy and keep buying stuff and get more of it. You know, you'd be able to get more of it and hold on to it. So singles, I don't like to look at singles as an investment. I think the sealed product is a good investment, and you'll kind of notice, even though the singles drop down, you'll see that the sealed product still continues to do good, and it's a safer bet. It's a safer bet. I don't like doing singles as an investment. I buy singles to do quick flips for card shows because I love doing card shows, but other than that, I do not think they're a good investment, because the popularity and faith in the card could very quickly change, or there could be so much of it, or so little. I don't know. There's too many variables for me to be like, yeah, this is a great thing to grab onto. Umbreon. How is this affecting Umbreon? And I might have a bit of a delayed reaction. These prices might dip down. Umbreon might get ripped open a zillion times over. And it may take, kind of like with 151, because 151 has had a very delayed reaction to all the Blooming Waters and all the Costco tins and stuff. And Charizard was like a $300 card even after all this stock happened. But I think people finally bought a ton of it from scalpers and then ripped it open. And now we're seeing so many Charizards that they're down to like almost $200, which is crazy. Which again, I don't think singles are the best investment. But then you look at the sealed product of 151, and it's still going to the moon. So Umbreon did take a hit. At its highest point, it was like $1,600, right? And then very quickly gone to the 1500s. Now we're down to 1,400-ish. But that kind of varies between about high 1300s to low 1400s. But it's very consistent in the 1400s. So it'll be interesting to see if it drops down from there anymore or not. I don't know. I feel like we need like another few weeks of sales data on this to really get a good grasp on it. This card has dipped down a bit, but to be honest, like less than $200, I don't know if I'd count that as a crash. And to be honest, with this sealed product, I don't think I'd count this as a crash too, especially knowing that the only way to get this stuff for MSRP is if you're lucky enough to find it in your big box store, but even they are charging a little bit above MSRP right now too, and distribution with their pricing is not going to allow this thing to be MSRP. They're fighting against it for sure. Then we look at Espeon. 371, and this thing has kind of had a roller coaster, but lately has been leveled, so it's not dipping down. It's kind of just doing its thing. It's hard to tell because they always throw in the Japanese sales of it too, which is super annoying, because when they do that, it really skews the overall sales data in the averages. So I wish TCG Player would get their shit together and separate the two, which they already have, but they shouldn't let you post a Japanese card on the English side. Very consistently bouncing between the 300-ish to almost $500 range. Just depends on who's buying in the day. So definitely has not crashed. Definitely has not crashed on that one. Vaporeon has actually had an interesting rise and then a slight dip. But again, it dipped and then kind of leveled. 376 is the average, 320, but then a lot in the 460s, 499. So this one's all over the place too. But again, I wouldn't count it as a crash, and to be realistic, even if it dropped down to $200, it's still a crazy valuable, expensive card. I still don't think that's a loss. I think that's awesome. So Prismatic Evolutions, definitely not like a lot of the YouTubers are like, it's crashing and it's going to get blown to the ground and everything's going to go to MSRP and it's going to be great. And it's like, you know what? We could get to MSRP. There's just a few factors that we need to have happen. Stop buying this shit at crazy expensive prices. This is your guys' fault, partially. Not fully, but partially. Distro, stop charging above MSRP. That's just stupid. On brand new sets, even now at pre-orders before the set's even out, now they're even going even higher than what they've ever done. Pokemon print more and get it out to distros and not just stores, because it's cool to get it at your Target and Walmart, but they stock so few at a time. It's a rat race and you're fighting people to get it, so that's not always the best answer. But if we combine all those things, it can happen. But All those things have to happen, and if they don't, then this won't fail. Or not fail, but this won't dip down in price. So you all need to calm down and let this die down a little bit. And we'll see what happens. But if not, then oh well. Just is what it is. I'm not going to buy in at these prices. I can wait. I can definitely wait. But this is our website, HozGamesAndCards.com. Check it out. Thank you all for watching. Very appreciated. I hope you all have a good night. Don't do anything crazy.